Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Actors Room. I am Amy Swartz, Preservation and Programs Director at Historic St. John's Church. And today I'm so pleased to be interviewing Jacob Lief. Jacob, how are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
So good to see you. I miss seeing everybody on the site. So thank you so much for giving us some time this afternoon.
You're very welcome. I'm happy to.
I'm excited to hear about a little bit of your theater background. And let's start first by telling us how many years you've been with the cast of the Second Virginia Convention.
I'll be going on my 5th year. I joined the cast in April of 2015, so this will be year 5 for me.
Wonderful. And how did you first hear about the show, or how did you first get involved?
I first heard about the show. I saw the audition posting at an online casting. I saw it online. I think it was inrich.com had the actors page, and I got in contact with you guys. I auditioned, and I got the job. I must have made a good impression.
You absolutely did. Your booming voice was very memorable. I do remember your audition, and it was impressive. Tell me a little bit about the other theater work that you do.
Well, let's see. I've been acting since summer of 2014. I've done film and theater around the Richmond and DC area. I've toured with the Virginia Repertory Theater with their children's theater. That's been like a lifelong dream of mine ever since I first saw them when I was in kindergarten.
Oh, wonderful.
I've worked at Swift Creek Mill Theater. I've worked with Richmond Shakespeare before.
Oh, wow.
And one of the jewels of my crown, I think, has been performing with the Second Virginia Convention. I love doing this.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, we all feel the same. And I've mentioned this with some of my other interviews, but I see such a wonderful, warm camaraderie between the cast. Can you talk a little bit about how that cast has become a family?
It all starts in the dressing room. All starts in the dressing room when we gather together before the show starts, and we have that, hour or so just to talk about our lives, and we bond over shared experiences, other shows that we've done, and then going out and doing the show together. And whether we're on the side of Patrick Henry or the side of Edmund Pendleton, we're always happy to help each other out and boost each other up any way we can.
Right. You definitely, that comes through in your shows. What roles do you play, and which is your favorite?
Let's see. I play Thomas Nelson, Benjamin Harrison. I played Thomas Jefferson, Edmund Pendleton, Richard Henry Lee, Patrick Henry, and there might be one other that I'm forgetting. I played everyone except for Washington, Randolph, and Nicholas. I played everyone.
Wonderful. And do you have a favorite?
My favorite is Henry.
Yes. I've heard that many times. Absolutely.
I love playing Henry, but if I had to pick a second choice, it would be I love doing Pendleton. I play Pendleton a lot. Richard Henry Lee is a lot of fun. Because he opens up the show after Patrick Henry gives his proposition at the beginning, and I think that's just a great way to segue into what the flow of the show is going to be like. And it also, I really just like playing him.
I've heard that as well, from other cast members. Do you have any memorable shows, things that stood out either in an impactful way or maybe a blooper that you want to share?
Well, for bloopers, there have been a couple of times where an inside joke among the actors goes a little bit too far, and I wind up almost breaking as a result. And I think the best example of that was when I was doing Henry. I think it was the last public show of the summer, this past summer. And the guy who was playing Harrison that day is not particularly fond of the city of Boston.
Okay.
And, you know, he has that line, I represent Charles City County, not Boston. He decided to say, not Boston, in the most angry way possible. And I just went, I was looking at him dead in the eye when it happened, and I just went, nope.
Oh my gosh.
I can't. So
Was
that's a real
he a
memorable.
Yankees fan or something? Is it, personally, he's not a Boston person, is that right?
No, I believe he's from, he's going to kill me if I can't remember where he's from. He's from New York, I believe. New York
Okay.
or Jersey. It's one of those two.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm sorry, Mike. I don't remember.
I was just curious. Okay, that's funny because you know the whole Red Sox Yankees rivalry. I wondered if he was a Yankees fan or something. That's funny. So you mentioned earlier enjoying working in the children's theater.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any? My favorite part of when you all are doing a show is when you're doing a show for kids, because I feel like they're so, you know, excited to see you all, and they really do believe that you are the delegates that you're portraying. Do you have any, you know, special affinity for the students?
Well, you asked me earlier about a more memorable show, and one of the most memorable ones is the first time, because sometimes the kids will get really into it and they've learned Henry's speech beforehand.
Right.
There was this one time I was playing Henry, and for the first time, when I got to gentlemen may cry peace, peace, and when I said but there is no peace, they said it along with me, and I almost lost my place because I was so stunned and taken aback, and it was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is so cool. And that was great. And not just kids, but everyone is like, when I'm doing the meet and greets afterwards, people aged 5 to 95 can get something out of this show, and every single person in one of those age groups from that entire spectrum has come up to me after the show and talked about how good it was or how it affected them in some way, and that's just really incredible.
Absolutely. I agree. I love to see you all interacting with the visitors, and it really, you all do such a great job that that all shines through. So it's really special. Well, Jacob, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure to see you. I so miss seeing you all on site, and I can't wait for us all to be back to Historic St. John's Church soon. I hope soon. But thank you so much for being with us today.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait to get back to you.
Me too. Well, thank you all for tuning in this afternoon, and be sure to join us again for an interview with another cast member. Bye, Jacob. Thanks.
Bye.